Welcome to Rolling Through Realms, a new actual play podcast. Join us for epic stories, daring adventures, exhilarating battles told through tabletop role-playing games. Listen in as our heroes attempt to uncover a conspiracy at the heart of a world's fair, while navigating the dark and shadowy world of the undead. I'm your Dungeon Master Erik Hurt, and this is Love, Death, and Necromancy. Welcome back to another episode of Rolling Through Realms, Love, Death, and Necromancy. Last we left off, after saving Hugleton from a rampaging fire mole that attacked the city after being displaced after the explosion in Sandhill Glen, the party was approached by a mysterious man named Seville Berillion, who said he was an adventurer, and a skeleton named Buckminster Wright, who the party briefly met in the Barrow Glades. They asked them to join them on an adventure to the jungle island of Maradik, where their wishes could be granted. They fight their way through the jungle, defeat a group of exploding, flaming bats, to enter this temple, to find only one wish was there to be granted. In the Temple of Flavor Town, an incredibly spicy chili pepper that Buckminster Wright could eat, Buckminster Wright could eat in order for him to taste something once in his skeletal life. They return back to Caesarius after singing a jaunty sea shanty, and that is where we are going to pick up. You guys land back in Caesarius. You are back in Hugleton, and Buckminster Wright says, once again, I can't say enough how great it was that you joined us. I hope you had a good time on this adventure, even if maybe you didn't get what was necessarily expected.
I had a great time. I really wanted the wish, and then seeing yours get fulfilled, that was almost a wish granted in its own. It was a great time. I appreciate you inviting us on the mission and the adventure, and I had a great time. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but the sea shanty at the end, singing on the boat with the sun setting, that really sold it all for me. It really a nice bookend, yes.
Can Gertie do a perception check for any ravens?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, good call. Haven't done that in a while.
Well, because he's undead. Sorry, I got really excited. I'm pretty sure my perception. Sorry. Here we go. That's gonna be a 28.
Okay.
19 plus 9.
All right, we'll come back to that in a sec. But, you're talking to Buckminster and Seville, and Seville says, if you can't enjoy a great adventure for its own sake, what's the point of living, right? And Buckminster says, so again, I know you probably were expecting a little bit more, but I do want to offer something as a thanks. Now, I'm not sure exactly what your next steps are, your next plans, how you're dealing with all of these things in the adventure, but if you want a little help with the rest of the undead and maybe navigating where they are, I think I can help point you in the right direction of where you need to go. Do you know where Iwerks Fuller's old factory was?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
I feel like Arn would know.
That is going to probably illuminate a few things for you. If you make your way down there, explore that factory, that is sort of the advice I can give you. And I have one more thing. Remember, fishes always swim away from the sun.
And does Marion know if that's true or not? Because she knows a lot about fish.
Seems like a figure of speech.
Because I'm like, I don't think that... Oh, okay.
Fishes always swim away from the sun. And with that, Seville and Buckminster, who has put that white mask back on his face, are sort of sauntering off arm in arm, singing that song again as they head off on their next adventure. Now, to the perception check on the ravens. You notice these ravens, and you notice them real fast as one comes sweeping down and flies towards the middle of all of you. And you see this raven flapping in the middle of your group, and you can see it has a little note tied to its ankle. And Vicran, it is flying in front of you.
Oh.
I will, as delicately as my giant Fearbold hands can, take the note off of the raven.
You take the note off of the raven, and he pulls out a little tablet and he flips it towards you. And he says, "I just got one quick question for you."
0.
He says that?
Wait for you to put this on down.
no,
You
yeah.
playing common? He says that?
Sad face. Thumbs down. Whatever the negative one is.
0
that one.
stars.
No, so
Here's
you take.
Sorry.
Here's a tip. Get a real deal.
I hate when that
Jesus
fucker busts your
Christ.
ass. I think we should be allowed to fight some people.
Absolutely. But you take this note off of the raven's ankle, and you see a little handwritten note that says, Vicran, I would love to talk with you again, one-on-one. Meet me at the Pick and Axe in Hugleton, and please come alone. Harrison Scott.
Okay. Does it have a time? Day?
Yes, it would be
Like
now.
I mean, that also kind of makes sense.
And the Pig and Axe is the inn? No, the
That's
tavern.
the bar.
That's
at-
the
at
bar.
Hugleton.
Then we'll just go and sit at the bar. We don't have to be
Yeah.
with you, but we can be there at a different
Yeah.
table.
I was wondering if you could cast invisibility on somebody else or just yourself.
I think it only works on himself.
Because it's a Fearbolg ability.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
a
it's-
spell that
yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
But you could hide.
I mean, I can try to
turn
stealth,
invisible.
yeah.
I don't know if I can turn any of you invisible.
That's
with
okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, I can try to stealth to, like, get a little closer, or
If
I don't
not,
know.
we can just sit at a table far away and
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
they were already here, sorry.
Did it say come alone?
It says come alone. But I mean, that doesn't mean you guys don't go
To the table with them.
before me.
Yeah.
And then I walk in later.
Yeah. We can do that. Is there a
Alright.
back entrance that we can maybe...
Doesn't he know who we are?
He does
Yeah.
know. who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, but he's also a meeting in a public place. Like,
Yeah. We just say, yeah, Vicran had some other business, and we just like, we're gonna head this way. Deception check, but
No, we don't have to. We
Also, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Fight him in the bar?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want this guy dead to begin
Yeah.
with.
yeah,
Just be
Gertie
like,
does
He's an
hate this
asshole.
dude.
Come along.
Yeah,
This guy
Technically,
sucks.
he went alone to his table. We
Yeah.
were just.
Yeah.
I'm more than fine
Yeah.
going and giving some backup for Vicran. That's I
So
think.
what if I go first and like
You're already in the conversation.
yeah,
And
and like
then-
I use my big ass body to block,
Hmm.
and you guys can kind of like go behind me.
We can try to stealth in. Make like
We
a group.
could. I don't know if some of us
yeah.
could.
So that's what I think. That's
Okay.
what we'll do. I'll
Yeah.
go first and sit down, and then just not slouch any. That's for sure.
Gotcha. So Vicran, you enter into the Pick and Axe, and people are pretty. Gosh, they seem a little weathered. They seem like they might have been working through the night, maybe doing some repairs on the inn, and just the sort of stuff that happened with the flaming mole. And there, over in the corner, you see Harrison Scott. Sitting there with a nice glass of mead and sitting alone. And as you walk in, being a very large Fearbolg, not trying to hide yourself, he clocks you right away. And he says, well, I am so pleased that you agreed to meet me. Go ahead, have a seat. Drinks on me.
I'll sit down and with my body is in the door as much as I can, you know. and just say, I'll just have a water. I'm not a big drinker.
Hey, more power to you. No worries.
Appreciate you though.
It says, if we can get a water from my my Fearbolg friend here, and there's a waitress who gets it. He tosses her a gold piece as she sets the water down, and he says, "All right, I'm sure you're maybe a little curious as to why I wanted to meet with you."
Just a lot curious. Yeah, I don't think we left off on the best foot, so kind of curious.
Yeah,
what I can do for you.
I fully understand. That was a bit of nasty business we got into. I'm sure I left maybe not the best taste in your mouth after all that. But you know, Vicran, I like you, and I mean that. I'm not. You can take it however you want. You can think I'm lying or what have you. But Vicran, I like you. You intrigue me. And I have to ask you, what's your last name?
Do I want to lie to him?
Say none of your damn business.
Do you mind me asking why you want to know?
Well, I was just because there's some Fearbolgs who live around here in the Whistling Woods, and I know a little bit about them, and was wondering if maybe you were part of that village, if you came from that village. You see, those Fearbolgs are mighty religious, right? Yeah, very devoted,
Right.
very kind of stuck in their ways, ain't they?
A lot of people are.
Yeah. So do you know them? You from around them parts?
Not overly familiar. Doesn't really narrow it too much with Fearbolg stuck in their ways. A lot of my kind are stuck in our ways, unfortunately.
But not you.
I try not to be.
But not you. You're not like that. You're a little different. And I think you and I have a bit of a connection. What do you think about that?
What kind of connection?
Well, we have sort of a different outlook on the world. I think you and I, we are able to see the big picture. Am I totally off base here?
I mean, I guess I don't know that I see like a big picture of anything. It's more just, I feel like there's many facets to the world and to life. And I've never been one to not want to understand those things and learn.
And that's what I'm saying. You and I, from my perspective, cut from the same cloth. And I hope you don't take that as an insult. I can understand after all that business we were doing if you do. And if you take it that way, it won't hurt my feelings. Don't worry none. But I want to try and explain something about me. I am an emissary of the Raven Queen. And as such, death is an important part of my life. And it is an important part of my outlook on life. Now, those Fearbolgs I was talking about, whether you are a member of their clan or not, I know they got quite a few clerics, don't they?
No, I mean, many religious groups would have a lot of clerics.
Yeah, no. And you see, when it comes to the gods and when it comes to that big picture of the world, life and death are kind of intertwined. You see? It's that circle of life. Things die and they return to that circle and they are able to fuel new life, you see, and and we have to keep that in balance. You know, death, it's a nasty, scary business. You know, nobody wants to die, right?
Well, I mean,
Well, maybe some.
I guess it depends on your beliefs.
Yeah, but it's important. It's important to continuing the cycle and to making things new and to keeping things natural, you see? And I have a question for you. And again, you're not going to hurt my feelings no matter what you say. But Vicran, do you think I'm evil?
Oh, that's a tough question, my friend. I think that you don't think you're evil. I don't know that I would say you're evil. Because you know, evil has a connotation to it of power, and not saying that you're not a powerful being, but like, you know, I don't think you were created out of evil, if that makes sense. I think evil is kind of can be a creation of evilness.
Well, I appreciate that.
I don't know that I think you're good. But I think that's more just maybe a place where we have that might be where our disconnect comes in. You know, you say we have a connection of seeing the bigger picture of things, but I think we might have a slight disconnect on some things. You know, you mentioned fear bulgs and other religious types being kind of stuck in their ways, and in some ways, I think you're maybe a little more stuck in your ways than you might think. Not in a way that you mean to be, just that you kind of are.
Well, I appreciate that feedback. And again, I hope you believe me when I say that.
I mean, I think we all can always use some good feedback in our lives, can't we?
Absolutely. Now, you might think that me being stuck in my ways and all that I would think all necromancers are evil, or that all the undead are evil. And I want you to know, and whether you believe me or not is what it is, I know that they're not. I wouldn't be very good at my job if I just was out here thinking every necromancer was some kind of world-conquering deviant. I know that's not the case. I know what they do down in Albering, and I know what their kind of outlook on the whole thing is, right? You know, they think, hey, we can help people do different jobs, we can help the community, we can help this, that, and the other by utilizing the dead. But, you know, you mentioned power, right?
Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't my main point, but sure.
Well, you see, I don't believe that all necromancers are evil. I'm not naive enough to say something like that. But what I do know is that every necromancer, they are driven by power. Now, it may not be power over others, but it is power over nature. In their efforts, they are trying to operate outside of that circle of life, outside of that balance, outside of the natural order that the gods have established that allows the world to continue to turn the way it needs to turn. They believe that they can harness the creation of life for their own means, outside of the needs that the world requires, that circle of life requires. And somebody needs to keep things in balance. There needs to be somebody there holding the scales. And it's not an easy job. It's really not. And I have taken it to be my duty to be the one to do that job and to hold them scales. And I probably have to, take some flack from time to time when I have to do some things that may seem unsavory, but I believe that it's worth it for that bigger picture.
I feel like there were lot of contradictions in what you're saying. You know, I guess the bigger question I have out of all of that is you say you're a follower of the Raven Queen and talking about the cycle of life and death. And forgive my ignorance just because I'm not that familiar with the Raven Queen. What are the thoughts of life and death, the cycle? Is it someone dies and they are reincarnated as another being? Or is it something has to die so that another can live? Where does it fall in that scope of question? The scope of things.
That latter one.
Right.
It's that energy that is contained within us that is then brought back into the cycle, and a new being is able to live. And without that, we're stuck. And it's these necromancers who say, I'm going to make my own life, rather than allowing nature to take its own course.
So, I think that's kind of a place where we might also have a bit of disconnect. I don't know that I fully think the way that the necromancers are bringing things to life is the same that the way that things come to be and come to life through the Raven Queen. It sounds like there are things to do with energy and maybe a soul with the Raven Queen, where the necromancy is more creating almost, in most cases, a lot of this is very new to me, to be fair. And I'm experiencing a lot of things and new things with necromancy, but most of the time it seems more almost like a machine out of a organic body. That organic body isn't impacting a new being being created or having any impact on a soul or that energy from what I've seen. It's more of a kind of the same thing as an artificer building a robot to make him cocktails. Kind of the same idea, just with organic matter versus metals and machinery.
You know, you may be onto something, but that's not something I'm willing to take a chance on. But I have something else I kind of want to, address with you, aside from what may be a kind of connection, so it were. That deal with Bucklesbrook. That was some nasty business.
Yeah, that was just bad, man.
Yeah.
There's no way to spin that. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I understand how that probably came across. I know you took a couple of good swings, which, hey, you took those on the chin like a champ.
Thanks, I guess.
Hey, it was meant as a compliment. Not too many people can take two swings like that in a row and just, walk on out of there like nothing happened. But now I do want to try and explain myself why that had to go down the way it did. Because we were dealing with old Lawrence Caldwell and the modify memory, all that kind of stuff. And, when it came to Bucklesbrook, I had to handle that a little differently. Had to play my cards in a different way. You see, I needed to make a point. I needed to instill a little fear, if you understand. Now, not to you. You see, Elias Heron.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to see how he reacted. I needed to see what he would do if he saw this guy spouting his necromancy stuff and me moving right away to chop his damn head off. Do you remember how he reacted?
It seemed like he kind of ran away, from what I remember. Is that what you expected or were hoping for?
Well, him stepping away, allowing me to do my job, well, yeah, it would make me think, hey, here's a guy who sees a guy trying to stop a necromancer, and he says, have at it. Do your best. And I would be inclined to think, hey, this guy gets it. This guy's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do. He's going to be cooperative. He's going to help. And, well, when it comes to old Elias Heron, we've been working together for a little bit now. And, well, that's how he's been the whole time. And this is the important part. He reached out to us. We didn't reach out to him when this all started going on. When he started on Heron Hill, he found the Merry Reapers. And this is when we weren't really operating in the open. That's only been just recently. This was when we were still working in the shadows and in whispers. But he knew where to find us. And he knew who to talk to. And he said safety was his number one priority. And he was worried about some necromantic stuff happening. And he wanted us to work with him to make sure that that was not going to happen in Heron Hill. Necromancy was not going to take purchase in his new city. In the future that he wanted to make, necromancy would not be tolerated. And he agreed to give us whatever resources, whatever access, whatever help we needed to make sure that we could do our jobs to the best of our abilities. Now that is very generous and very gracious. And he has allowed us to do our work. But you see, when he approached us, I have to say, there weren't really too many necromantic shenanigans happening in Caesarius. Now, there'd be things here and there, some undead that pop up from time to time that we have to deal with. But then, all of a sudden, well, what do you know? A bunch of necromantic shenanigans start happening, just like he was worried about. Now, do you think that is a coincidence?
I mean, could it also be that now we're looking for him more? Because he's brought it up as a possible problem, so now you and the Merry Reapers and even him and other people are seeing it more often because they're looking closer?
Now, I've had that thought as well. And I'm torn. Because, you know, you asked me before how I can tell if something's undead or not. And I know I told you there are little signs, little things to look for, body temperature, stuff like that. But what makes me the best at what I do is that there's this little man inside me, you see?
Do you mean literally?
Not literally.
Okay, thank you. Had to clarify.
And well, when something seems amiss, well, he just ties my insides all up in knots. And when it comes to Elias Heron, well, whenever I see him, that little man in me just starts tying my insides up in knots. Now, I went and I beheaded his assistant of 10 years, and he didn't lift a finger to stop me.
Sure.
And well, what do you know? When that happened, my insides just got all twisted up in knots. Now, what do you think about that?
About the little man or about Elias?
About Elias.
I'm just messing with you. We gotta have fun. Well, I mean, it could mean a lot of things. It could mean he's selfish. A lot of people in power and a lot of rich people especially are very selfish. They don't care what happens to the people around them, whether they've known them for a day or their entire life. Seems like maybe you have an inkling he has something necromancy going on with himself. And maybe there's something there. I don't really know what that would be, though. But I kind of just am inclined to think he's just very selfish. Or a coward. And ran away from the danger.
Could be.
To be fair, I've only known him for a week. And I've only talked to him maybe once. So, you know, I don't have the best read on him since we're kind of strangers still.
No, I understand. You know, it's everything going on with that, you know, Iworks Fuller. it's really been interesting. That's his old partner. Turns up alive and a necromancer. Now, Elias, he told us he knew that Iwerks Fuller was getting involved in necromancy. And, but according to him, Iwerks had died. And we zoned to truthdom, and we did all we could, and, well, he seemed to be telling the truth when he said he was damn certain that Iwerks Fuller was dead. And yet he was still worried about this necromantic activity happening. As if there was something in him that was worried about Iwerks Fuller doing what he was doing. And something's just not sitting right with me. And I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Above the table, I'm trying to remember, didn't Elias also have modified memory on him?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he didn't,
We never got to the bottom.
didn't Harrison know that?
That Elias did?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
I
was,
think so.
He was right
Yeah,
there
yeah,
with
yeah.
us.
He would have known.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to give him any more information than he
Yeah,
doesn't
that's-
have.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
Good
he
call.
would
Probably.
have. Yeah, he would have known that Elias,
Had the modified memory.
Bucklesbrook, Lawrence,
Yeah,
all of them.
And the robot.
Yeah, Clockwork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, modified memory was cast on him. He would think he's dead. But you mentioned the little man in you that twists your stomach into knots. Maybe that's more of a subconscious thing rather than a conscious thing. And some people call it trusting their gut. Some people call it anxiety. Maybe he's got a little bit of subconscious thinking. He subconsciously can understand that something different happened than what he knows, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
He
maybe.
sees something different than what's really there.
Maybe.
Kind of similar to anybody who was maybe doubting their religion, doubting their partner, anything like that. If they were that close of partners in business, they had to be friends too. They have to know each other well.
No, I mean, I agree with that. And, whenever we do get around to confronting old Iwerks, I'll be interested to see, is this the guy casting all these modify memory spells, and how's he doing it, right? Because even though we know he's alive, there's still nobody seen hide nor hair of him, so I think,
Do we know he's alive then, or are we think he is?
well, I kind of squeezed some information out of one of them undead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's part of the information I got.
That Iwerks is alive?
That Iwerks is alive, and Iwerks was the one who raised him from the dead. Old
Gotcha.
Albatross, but may he rest in peace. Sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that. But well, still a lot of questions to ask, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's always questions to ask, I think. I think we can think we know everything when really we don't know anything.
So if I can ask, and whether you want to tell me or not, it's up to you. What's next?
I don't really know. I was hoping Heron Hill would be open again to see more of what's happening there. That was the whole reason I left and came to this area, was I wanted to see Heron Hill. I'm very interested in learning. I always like to see new things and gather knowledge and information, and I thought that would be a really good place to do it. And it didn't open back up at any point.
No, it hasn't. Not yet.
Do you know if he plans to? I think it seems like you have a closer working relationship with him than I ever would.
Well, maybe not no more, I have to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But,
Why do you say that?
well, he seems kind of done with me.
Did he end up mad about Bucklesbrook?
I think he did.
I mean, hard to blame him.
Hard to blame him. And you know what? I don't.
It's fair.
I don't. And yet, knots. Knots, Vicran. Well, I don't know where the road's going to take you next. Well, I look forward to meeting you again. And I mean that. Don't think I don't.
I believe you.
All right. Well, till we meet again, Vicran.
Safe travels.
And before I go, I was wondering, does this mean anything to you? Dogs always stick together.
Not off the cuff. I mean, I would guess packs. Dogs are in packs. Packs, same with wolves.
Yeah. Well, all right.
What does it mean?
That's why I was asking you.
Oh, where did you hear it?
From that friend of ours who ain't no longer with us.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Other than you have your pack, your group, your family, your friends, your colleagues, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
and you stay by their side.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, makes sense to me. Well, I'm off. Enjoy your evening. Tell your friends over there to enjoy their evening as well. You have a good one.
Cheers him with my glass of water.
All right. And he makes his way out the door.
Guys, that was fucking weird.
That was real fucking weird. What did he say there at the end?
Dogs always stick together. Can I roll to see if we've heard that
Yeah.
from any of the
Yeah.
undead?
Is that
Yeah.
anything that I know?
Go ahead and roll.
Can all of us or?
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Rerolling?
nothing. I don't know, but I rolled a 2 on the dice,
What's
so
the-
I don't
what's the check?
know anything.
History?
Yeah, you can do
Perception?
history. You can do arcana. I mean,
Both are the same.
What's the 6 then?
Can I do wisdom? Because that's still only a 10.
14.
Arcana, I got a 22.
22.
Nice.
Damn.
He knows.
Yeah, with a
Son of a-
22,
Plus 8.
this means nothing to you.
Oh.
You have not heard of this. You have not encountered this.
He said he heard it from who?
But
Was it from Albatross?
from
Yeah.
Albatross.
Yeah, the undead that he tortured.
Yeah.
What it does spark in you
Yeah.
is the same thing
Yeah.
that Buckminster Wright told you about fishes always swim towards the sun.
Yeah.
And it sounds eerily similar.
Putting strings of words together that mean nothing.
As long as it has the
No,
word
you
always.
said fishes swim away from the sun.
Oh, fishes
Away.
swim away from the sun.
Thank you.
Fishes swim
That's what
away
I
from the
wrote
sun.
down. Well,
Yes.
I'm wondering, because it had to deal with iWorks, I wonder if one phrase takes you where you need to go, and like maybe, because I doubt Albatross gave him something that's right, dogs all stick together maybe leads you to like a trap within the facility. Like it takes you not where you want to go. Does that make any sense? Like one way's a trap and one way's the actual way to get in.
Maybe.
Like that's the only thing I could think of, because under duress,
Unless
I
they
mean-
had like a zone of truth on him, and that's what he was saying the
Yeah.
whole time or something.
maybe, or
I don't
maybe he was in so much. I don't know. They can't. Can undead feel pain? Did we?
Yes, they
Yeah.
could feel
He
pain.
could have been
So it's-
in so much pain that he
It
didn't.
could have been
even
anything.
Yeah, at some
Yeah.
point, even with Zone of Truth, if you're in enough pain, you're just
Mumble. You
You're
think
saying
it's the truth.
nothingness, yeah. you're just saying stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I have no idea.
Fishes always swim away from the sun.
And dogs always
Always-
stick together.
Always. I said all.
Dogs are always fish. Because I thought I was a.
Which one am I?
I thought I was a seal.
You're closer
So
to
I guess
fish,
I'm
I
a
guess.
fish.
Am I a dog? Because I'm hairy.
Vicran, was he trying to, I don't know, scare or intimidate you by saying he knows kind of who your family is?
Kind of got that vibe.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it. Kind of felt like at some point he was going to say he went and murdered my entire family, which
Yeah.
at that point this bar wasn't going to exist anymore because shit was going to hit the fan. Or he was just, you know, I don't know. He's a weird guy. He might have just been legitimately
Also, did
curious.
I hear this right? Did he have a tiny person inside of him?
Oh no. So not literally.
Oh, okay.
He meant
I was
like.
worried.
Have you ever had that feeling? When you're nervous about something and you get kind of like your stomach feels tight.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Because I clarified that.
Okay,
I was
good.
also confused.
No little scrappy do.
Yeah, because I was like, hold on. This guy's worried about necromancy. He's just a flesh mech. What is this?
Also, do you even know why he got a hold of you in the first place? Like why it feels like he wants your opinion so badly.
He said he likes me.
You out of everyone.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that
for sure
sounded-
doesn't like
no,
me.
I'm just.
Damn.
You had the most beef with him, is what I was meaning.
I don't know if it's that. He did seem like he was kind of impressed that he didn't kill me when he hit me a lot. So I don't know if he's just trying to...
He equates strength with literal strength.
Yeah, or,
Okay.
he sees it as like a... Even though we maybe aren't fully in agreement on things, maybe he sees it as just like mutual respect kind of thing, even though... I don't know that that's where I'm at with him, but I don't know. It was all very strange. He also seems very doubtful of Elias right now, which I think we've all kind of started to get that way.
I was always that way.
I mean, yeah, but
Okay,
even more
Maren.
so than
Just
before.
Be nice to get that modified memory off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Do we know if Dispel Magic takes care of that?
Yeah,
It does.
We did it for.
Mhm.
That's right, we did.
Yeah.
Because
We
I did
did.
not have a high enough leveled spell to do it when we were in the
Yep.
jail.
Yeah. For
Because I
Lawrence.
wanted to after that too, for Bucklesbrook and Elias to, maybe stop Bucklesbrook from being murdered.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen anyways. He said he wanted to prove a lesson or whatever,
That's true.
scare him straight, and still fear.
I still feel like someone's taking the fall for someone else.
I think it's also that I think he was more seeing how far he can push
Yeah.
and get away with things.
That's a real good
and
point.
see if Elias was ever going to stop him from just
Yeah.
doing whatever he wants. And that kind of seems like that's what he wants to do. He did say, though, that Elias seems to be done with him, which is what we learned when I went to the gate.
Yeah.
So,
But he
And-
didn't know that.
And
but he
what-
didn't know that. But, he might... they might actually not be working together anymore. So maybe...
And what was that initial agreement of them working together? Do we know that? Like why they started to get
So it sounded like he basically wanted the Merry Reapers to be security against necromancy
At Heron.
at Heron Hill. And he thinks maybe that Elias knew Iworks was alive, even though they used Zone of Truth on him. And Elias said he was dead.
modified memory though.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know.
The Iworks covering up his death.
Yeah.
Just casting modified memory on everybody who
And
believed that knew he was alive.
Yeah.
and if you're at one point in time closest friend and business partner says you're dead, most people aren't going to question it.
Yeah.
Lets him do a lot of his stuff under the radar of can't possibly be him, he's dead.
Exactly.
All right, so if I can ask, where are we heading next?
I guess
Are you-
Iworks factory, right?
That's what I was wondering, if that's where we're
Yeah.
heading next, because that's
I
where.
think that's kind of our only lead left.
Yeah.
Did we
My
have-
only thinking is if we're heading that way, we should keep an eye out for the ravens if they're
Could,
looking at
um,
you.
Could
and
we?
stuff.
What do we know which direction that
The
is?
south,
It's-
isn't it in
it's,
the cast or the
Um,
what is the capital called?
no. It is
It's
down
north.
where Albering is,
Yeah.
on the other side of like the channel that separates the mainland
okay.
from Albering.
Gotcha.
Is the town,
it was in
but it
the-
has been kind of exploded
Okay.
after the factory explosion.
How far out of the way would it be to swing in home, real quick?
Oh, well, there's not a train, so it would be a couple hours walk.
Or do I have any way to like call home?
Not really.
It's in water, but
Can you
that-
send a raven?
Do you want?
Yeah.
If it's a couple of hours, I can. While you guys are sleeping overnight, I have 4 hours. Like I only transfer 4 hours. I could go there, see if people are alive, and come back.
That or
Right
how far
after
can
you.
Apollo go?
Oh.
Can
Well,
we
it's
just?
only 100 feet that they can have the connection, but
But would Apollo be able to come back and
Well,
Go
Apollo.
there,
give
check it,
information.
and come back.
Well, Apollo could once he gets there, like, what's the word I'm trying to think of, like, unmaterialize because he's a
Yeah.
familiar. I could always cast the spell to like bring him back.
So if he goes there, would he be able to come back and tell you, yeah, everything looks fine, or hey, everyone's dead?
I mean, yeah, he could. I don't know if that connection. Yeah, I don't.
I don't see why not.
Would he be able to do that, or do I need to send Mary? Is
Yeah.
what I'm
Like,
asking.
I think that makes
Because
sense.
if we
I
don't
could-
have to send you out
I
in the
could get
night
him
by
to do
yourself,
it.
let's send a bird.
But if it's
Yeah.
in like swamp area, I'm fine by myself.
Yeah, but still safer to send the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. I don't see any reason not. And then yeah, I can tell him because if we're gonna continue on ahead, I have to give him a place where like our timings are gonna get him.
Well,
back
I was
to
thinking-
me.
Overnight while you
We
guys
stay
are
here
sleeping.
tonight. He
Okay.
flies up and back, and in the morning he can say what's going on.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
yeah, I think we do that. That sounds safer.
So you are spending the night in Hugleton?
Yeah, I think
Alright.
And then
an
in the morning
actual
we can
good
go, yeah.
rest.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you settle down for the night with an adventure to the old Iworks manufacturing factory ahead of you in the morning. And that is where we are going to end this episode of Rolling Through Realms, Love, Death, and Necromancy.
I hope my family's not dead.
Thank you for listening to Rolling Through Realms. Follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and YouTube, and be sure to share with your friends. Feel free to leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Music for this episode was provided by tabletopaudio.com. Once again, I'm Erik Hurt, and you've been listening to Love, Death, and Necromancy.